Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. King Charles III is in Edinburgh, where the Queen is lying at rest at the Palace of Holyrood House. The Royal Artillery personnel here welcoming the new King with a gun salute. The King and members of the royal family then followed the Queen's coffin in a procession along the Royal Mile. Thousands of people lining the streets for a glimpse of the hearse and of the new King, before attending a service of remembrance at St Giles Cathedral. Earlier, King Charles III made his first visit to the Westminster Parliament as monarch.
As I stand before you today,
speaking to the 900 MPs and peers, he gave his thanks for their words and support and said he would follow his late mother's selfless duty.
My lords and members of the House of Commons, we gather today in remembrance of the remarkable span of the Queen's dedicated service to her nations and peoples. While very young, Her late Majesty pledged herself to serve her country and her people and to maintain the precious principles of constitutional government which lie at the heart of our nation. This vow she kept with unsurpassed devotion. She set an example of selfless duty, which, with God's help and your counsels, I am resolved faithfully to follow.
The Duke of Sussex, Prince Harry, has paid tribute to his grandmother, the Queen, thanking her for her commitment to service, sound advice and infectious smile. It's after he and his wife Meghan and brother William and his wife Kate met mourners in Windsor over the weekend. In the statement posted on the couple's website, he said, "Granny, while this final parting brings us great sadness, I am forever grateful for all of our first meetings, from my earliest childhood memories with you, to meeting you for the first time as my Commander-in-Chief, to the first moment you met my darling wife and hugged your beloved great-grandchildren. I cherish these times shared with you and the many other special moments in between." And more tributes have been paid to the Queen from around the world. Hundreds of people in Hong Kong queuing to send condolence messages. In India, official buildings flew their flags at half-mast.
From here in Israel, we send our deepest condolences to the people of the United Kingdom.
Israeli Prime Minister Yair Lapid said the British monarch was a model of decency, stability and an icon around the world. Meanwhile, the tallest building in the world, Dubai's Burj Khalifa, which is one of the main tourist attractions in the city, was lit up with an image of Queen Elizabeth and a British flag on Sunday. In other news, President Volodymyr Zelensky has said Russia aims to deprive people of light and heat by causing power cuts across eastern Ukraine in revenge for a Ukrainian counter-offensive. Blackouts reportedly affected millions of people in the eastern Kharkiv and Donetsk regions. Here, trains grinding to a halt as Kharkiv underground lost power. Russian missile attacks raining down on the area after Ukraine said it had retaken over 3,000 square kilometers in an eastern counter-offensive. Zimbabwe's opposition Citizens Coalition for Change Party has said that its leader, Nelson Chamisa, has escaped an assassination attempt after his convoy came under a bomb attack. In a statement, the CCC said Mr. Chamisa's convoy was attacked with explosives as it approached the venue of a rally. It said the venue was also petrol-bombed on Saturday by unknown people. The party blamed what they called ruling ZANU-PF thugs for the attacks. There's been no immediate reaction from the government. And finally, the Mid-Autumn Festival is being celebrated in China with various traditional activities taking place across the country. A series of fireworks shows were performed in China's Jiangsu province. The Mid-Autumn Festival falls each year on the 15th day of the 8th month in China's lunar calendar. On that day of family reunion, people get together with families to eat mooncakes, appreciate the full moon and enjoy themed activities. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to the Channel Studios in Lagos.